Hello everyone, thank you for joining. I wanted to say good morning, but actually it might be not morning for a lot of people checking in. I mean, it wasn't for our keynote speaker. And our first talk of the day, and what a talk that was. I mean, such a plot twist there in the middle, where I was just like, I was rooting for all of these wonderful inventions, and then it's like, oh, but it's also kind of dangerous. So that was quite interesting. So hi, my name is Floor. I'll join you for, well, basically the whole day. I work at Microsoft as a program manager, and I'm joined by
Leonard. Hello. I'm working at Arlenet, and I'm also hosting this today with you three guys. So you're going to see us a lot today.
Yeah, and I'm Callum. I am Microsoft MVP, Umbraco MVP. I host Umbra Coffee every Friday, which will be live again today at lunchtime. I'm also here all day. This is really looking forward to this. This is going to be great.
100%. But we're not the only ones in this studio, are we?
No, absolutely not. I mean, there's a whole team that has gone into making this event possible and this event happen. And it would be unfair for us to take all of the spotlight here.
All the credit.
So maybe we can have a little look behind the scenes. This is the
interactive bit, right?
Yeah, this is the interactive bit.
Yeah.
So we are in the same venue as we've been in previous years for DukeFest. However, the entire room no longer has chairs and a big stage. We've just got this studio. And behind the scenes, we've actually got a full AV setup. So if we can pan the camera around, we should be able to see the behind the scenes switcher, the desk. We've got Mark Dyker, who's currently in charge, in control, and can't switch the camera. We've also got Henk Boelman, who's built this whole setup himself.
Wave to the camera, guys.
Yeah, and he's running between camera and there we go. We can see them. Hey, Mark. So yeah, this is the behind the scenes setup. This is our view. This is what we can see, and that's me from the side. So yeah, the whole setup here has been purpose built just for this event, just for live streaming for all of you, no matter where you are all over the world, which is really incredible. And I think a first for any Umbraco event. This is a true virtual Umbraco experience. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, virtual first, even.
Virtual first.
And this is not the only room that we're occupying, is it?
No.
No, there's actually a Dutch School partner meetup going on in the next room beside us, and that's also the same room that Callum is going to use for his Umbraco Coffee later on. And I'm also going to do a talk in there later in the evening. So there's a lot more going on in here than you're just going to see on screen right now.
That's really cool.
So Callum already said a lot of the things about this event. It's going to be a lot different than previous years. It's going to be completely virtual. So this is the same reason why you're looking at us live right now. And we're very excited to see how things are going. If this may be something that we can keep doing for coming years. So.
Well, that would be amazing to at least keep this component, even if we can invite more people to join us in this room.
Exactly. So how cool is it that we can actually have a round table session with a lot of different
triangular round table.
Well, yeah. Round table is a relative term anyway. Yeah, absolutely. Do we want to talk about all of the things that we have planned for the folks joining us today?
Yeah, I mean, there is a ton of stuff happening, isn't there? All the way from some music coming later. Is that right?
There's a music thing.
We've got entertainment at lunchtime.
Yes. Can you imagine?
Well,
our lunchtime. It could be someone's,
dinner time, breakfast.
I also heard a rumor about something like a pub quiz or something.
Yeah, it's a not pub quiz because we're not in a pub. We can't be in a pub. But at the end of the day, there is going to be a quiz with general knowledge, Umbraco knowledge, tech knowledge, and also you'll have had to have watched some of the talks because there's going to be some secret hidden gems inside these talks, knowledge that you need to know to be able to answer some of these questions.
Like Easter eggs.
Easter eggs. And there's going to be some amazing prizes. We're going to have prizes for various different things, like fastest person to respond to all the questions correctly, or getting secret answers, getting closest to an answer. It's going to be good fun.
Okay, what kind of prizes are we talking about?
Well, I wouldn't want to say just now because I don't want to spoil it, but I heard we may have some escape room prizes that you can enjoy at home. It's definitely not going to be something you want to miss.
Not something you want to miss, exactly. So keep watching, people, because you really want those prizes.
I mean, we're going to be here for 12 hours,
yeah.
so I don't expect people to be watching all day, but at least keep us on in the background. This is not supposed to be draining for you to watch. Do some work, enjoy it,
Exactly.
and I'm sure you'll pick up enough answers to be able to ace the quiz later.
Exactly. So obviously we're going to have a lot of different talks today. The morning is going to be mostly packed about Umbraco related stuff, but later on in the day.
Who would have guessed, right?
Yeah, exactly, at the Umbraco conference. But in this case, something really cool is Scott Henselman joining us later on together with you, actually.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, so that's going to be interesting. And later in the evening, the technical talks about code and a lot more than just Umbraco. So we're going to talk about Azure, we're going to talk about Blazor later on, we're going to talk about
accessibility. That's the bits that I'm excited about as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And the accessibility work going on in the Umbraco community for maybe 2 or 3 years now has been truly, truly excellent. They've been doing great stuff to improve the back office. And as I've said whenever I've spoken about this, the improvements that come through improving back office accessibility in the product doesn't just apply to the people that need it, actually it applies to all of us.
Everyone,
we get
right?
better keyboard shortcuts, and we get just better usability of the product. And it creates a far more polished experience. I know that Rachel, who will be talking about this, she's incredibly passionate about the accessibility work, and they've wants to talk about some of the great stuff they've been doing. So I really look forward to that session.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
very cool.
You mentioned as well, we've got Scott Hanselman. Now, I think it's maybe been 5 years that people have been trying to get Scott Hanselman to actually attend and speak at an event. He was supposed to speak at Umbraco's Code Garden conference, which would have been in May, but
Corona,
everything happened. So this is going to be a first again, Scott Hanselman on an Umbraco event, which is amazing.
That is very exciting.
Yeah, so Floor, can you tell us something about the code of conduct as well?
Absolutely, because we want people to interact with us, right?
Yeah.
But before they do, they should probably, and you should probably check out our code of conduct. It's on the website. Please familiarize yourself with the code of conduct. And then also, if you see anything that is unsavory, if people are not excellent to each other, you can always reach out to me or to Henk, and our contact details are on the website. And we would love to hear from you to make this an even better experience for you.
Maybe something else we can talk about as well is about the code of conduct in this building. So obviously we're in a Corona period right now. So you're seeing us on stage right now, keeping 1.5 meter distance from each other. That's also something we're going to adhere to all the times, in the Netherlands at least.
Yep.
On top of that, when we're not on stage, we're going to wear face masks in this case. So we all got our face masks somewhere around us here. So when we leave the stage, we're actually going to put them up. So we're trying to do and keep everyone as safe as possible in here. So it's a very special event.
Indeed. And the venue itself actually fits 500 people.
Yeah.
Yet we've got only 16 people in the building here today. So there's definitely enough space for everyone to have like their own corner.
Private space. Yeah.
It's even as large as my first apartment, like the space that I can keep from other people.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe before we dive into the content of today, we have to say thank you to a few more people because, of course, this event wouldn't be possible without the sponsors. This event is going out live all over the world completely for free, and that's all thanks to the people supporting the event.
Yeah.
And we have a few messages, I think, to play from those sponsors.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Should we roll the videos?
All right. Welcome back. So that was our sponsors. Very much, a lot of thanks to them. A small applause for them because they really made all of this possible today.
Maybe you can even see a little applause in the chat. That would be really nice.
Yeah, exactly.
and on social, of course, because they've literally made this whole event possible. So give them some thanks.
Exactly.
Give them some love. Yes.
So talking about the socials, we can actually put up the social wall on our screen in a moment. Obviously, we have our own hashtag going on today. So it's going to be a hashtag DF20, DF20 in this case. Please make use of it when you're seeing some interesting talks today. Make it pop up on our social wall, and we'll probably get to it somewhere between the day and just look at this. Awesome messages.
Like, Yoka is very excited. I see.
Jeffrey did an amazing dance this morning, which was.
Oh, Colin, that's you. Look at you.
Oh yeah, we have an amazing neon sign outside the venue here as well.
Yeah. Well, and it features the festival and also something else, right?
An advert for some construction workers.
Well, hey, he turned 50. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
They should advertise this.
I see Purnima is already preparing her components in Blazor talk, which is going to be later on.
Well, it's
today.
good that she puts the finishing touches on it now rather than later. This is really fun. So we'll be checking. This is a good one. So we'll be checking back on our social wall every now and then just to see what you're up to. Maybe we can ask people to share their Umbraco shirts, or I've heard that unicorns are a big thing in this community. So
I mean, it's certainly not an official Umbraco Tuesday, but we're all here wearing the official Doogfest T-shirt. If you've got a Doogfest T-shirt, put it on at home, share your picture, or just any Umbraco T-shirt will do. Spread the Umbraco and Doogfest love from home on social media. I think we can create a bit of buzz around this. And you mentioned unicorns. We've actually got a couple of unicorns, some hidden Easter eggs maybe you can see in the background here.
Right, in the studio as well. But any unicorn gifts will do as well, I think, for the people at home. Maybe they will have this inflatable, like, little...
There's one over there.
Right. Yes. Maybe people have one at home, I can imagine. I mean, I have one at home that fits my drink for when I go to the pool or something.
That's smart.
It's very convenient, yes.
So we actually hidden some props around here in the stage. We did spend a lot of time doing that last night. So make sure if
more time than anyone would ever spend.
Actually, if you spot them, put them up on the social wall. Maybe everyone can find the things that we hidden.
Screenshot those things.
Exactly.
Awesome. What do we have coming up first? Like, what is our schedule until the afternoon? I
mean, we've already had a talk from Lars, who's based in, as he said, Victoria in Australia, and we're going to get all of the Australians out of the way first so they can go to bed. Right. Because it's a bit late for them. So coming up first is Emmanuel, and he's from Melbourne, and he'll be doing an amazing talk about localization, which is super interesting, and I think something he's got a lot of experience in. But that's just the start of the event, really, isn't it?
Yeah. So after that, Bushra is going to talk about getting started with getting started. So it's going to be talk about the documentation team, documentation of Umbraco, and how you actually can get started with Umbraco in itself. So that's pretty cool. Obviously, for people watching right now who don't have that much experience with Umbraco. So really cool.
Some people don't have a lot of experience with Umbraco. I don't know those people though, but
that's okay because today's not entirely about Umbraco. There's going to be something for everyone, and also maybe people can learn some things.
That'd be good.
It's
right?
It's not all about honing your Umbraco skills. If you're already an Umbraco expert, you might want to look at something else. We've got talks on AI, and just like the talk we had from Lars a few moments ago. We've got talks on, as we mentioned, accessibility, and some front-end talks as well from Ellie later. So some really, really interesting topics that things you maybe wouldn't necessarily always be interested in or wouldn't be attracted to normally.
Yeah, and when we're talking about getting started, maybe it's also getting started with contributing to Umbraco, because we're in October, which means it's
Hacktoberfest, or Spamtoberfest now as well.
Well, I mean, that was a big thing on social media yesterday. But GitHub has already solved it. I don't know if you've seen it, but you can now suspend.
And I like that as well. So you can mark a repo as no one can raise a pull request
Yeah.
for a defined period of time, which is great if you're going on vacation or something. You can just say, you know, I'm off for a week. I don't want notifications from GitHub.
No,
please, no one do anything for a week. So that's cool. And as you said, to prevent spam from Hacktoberfest contributions as well, it's a nice way of saying, okay, I'm getting overwhelmed right now, time out. I need to...
I don't want to talk too much about spam though, because I think
Yeah.
Hacktoberfest is such a wonderful opportunity to celebrate open source and to contribute back to the project that you're working on, or working with actually on a daily basis. So I think Hacktoberfest is a great way. And Umbraco, is there any getting started guides if I want to do my first pull request? If I read the documentation and I'm just like, as a complete layman, I do not understand what you're talking about, or you have all of this assumed you have all of these assumptions about my dev setup that maybe I don't have.
Absolutely. There's some decent docs for getting started with Umbraco, but also I would say that the tech stack is relatively accessible for someone to get started. It's AngularJS, which is maybe a little outdated, but actually it's very clear once you've had a little bit of a look at it. And the code base is getting cleaner as time goes on. So there's definitely it's definitely easy to get started, but also it's not just the CMS product. We've got an open source documentation repo, the community site, which is a standard Umbraco website. So if you're used to working with Umbraco, contributing should be hopefully relatively clear.
Yeah.
Obviously, the documentation team is doing a great job in order to actually get people involved with Umbraco in itself, but also everything around the community. So obviously, you have to get to know the community, you have to get to know the product that you're working with. So obviously, they're doing a really great job presenting that to the new people.
Yeah, very cool. And if we go to the repositories that Umbraco has, like where can I find things to work on? If there is, or are there specific skills needed or asked for? Or
So the issue tracker is the best place on GitHub, and there is the getting started labels. So
first contribution friendly.
Yeah, exactly. So you can easily find a task that you might want to work on. So also, it's a really friendly community. So if you put a comment on an issue going, I'd like to work on this, but maybe I don't know how to get started, you'll get a ton of help, guaranteed.
And obviously on the GitHub there are pull requests that Umbraco is also marking as that they're up for grabs. So they're asking the community, please help us with this. So obviously Umbraco has a lot of people working on Umbraco, but they don't always have the time to fix that little issue that you might have an issue with. Yeah. So they put them up for grabs, and you can actually pick them up and get a pull request working on them.
That's very cool.
So that's really cool. So I think Sebastian is doing a great job in there.
The final thing I'll mention is that there is an event on the 7th, which is in a week from now, where 7th and 8th, hosted by the Candid Contributions team.
Yes.
And I know you're a fan of their podcast.
Big fan, yeah.
They're hosting a hackathon, Umbracathon.
I love that.
To get started, and there'll be some sessions in there someone will sit with you and guide you through making a pull request and contributing to Umbraco. But more than anything, it's another community celebration just like this. And it's a fantastic way to get involved in the Umbraco community. Even if you just come along and talk about ideas for a few hours, there's various ways of contributing that don't involve code. And Umbraco have a program to give away special Umbraco swag for contributions.
Wait.
So in addition to the Hacktoberfest swag that you can get or tree planted by participating in normal Hacktoberfest, if you make one contribution to an Umbraco project that will be merged, you will get some mysterious swag. Previous years it's been a t-shirt that said, I eat pull requests for breakfast, or stickers and a few other things.
That's really
they will
cool.
also plant a tree.
So I'm gone. I have some work to do.
I have to fill some pull requests.
You're on your own now.
But there's so many ways you can get involved in the Umbraco project this month, and I think it's going to be an exciting time. Previous years they had 1,300 contributions in the month alone.
Wow.
And of course this year we want to smash that record. So get contributing.
And in previous years, was the Umbracathon then virtual, or was that in person?
No, it was all in person stuff.
Oh yeah.
So this year we've got an even bigger scope. There's less excuses. Oh, I can't get the day off work. I can't attend. Well, it can be in your living room.
Yeah. You can, exactly.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So Emmanuel is almost up. Maybe we can still talk a little bit about the round tables that's going on, because that's going to be a little bit different
Please,
than
yes.
the normal talk. So the talks are going to take like half an hour. The usual setup is going to be like 20 minutes talk and 10 minutes QA. So if you have questions, make sure that you gather them over the talk and that you ask for them during the talk in the chat. We will monitor them and pick them up.
Yeah.
So if you have questions, please use the chat to let us know. Then later on in the evening, the round tables are going to start, and that's going to be something interesting, because obviously it's not going to be a talk. They're actually going to be people sitting here discussing. So
I like those more.
Yeah.
Did you want to say what could possibly go wrong?
Almost, yeah. But I was what can we expect from that?
Yeah. Well, I hope like a lot of free-form talk and hopefully some idea sharing. I'm always looking forward to like roundtables more than specifically slides and prepared talks. So I'm very much looking forward to those, for sure. Do we want to slowly get started with like the actual program for today? Because I mean, I love talking to you.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
But I think people are
course.
not tuning in to just hear from us talk about.
And Emmanuel will want to go to bed at some point.
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
exactly.
Well, I mean, Melbourne. I mean,
It's not that
it's
late.
not that
It's like
late.
7
the end of,
7
it's
p.m.
like the end of the day,
Yeah.
end of the working day, right?
Yeah.
So maybe this is a nice, actually, difference from his usual working day.
The beauty of this setup is we can get someone from Melbourne literally directly into our studio,
Yeah, right.
Via the power of Teams and
the
all the
thing.
stuff going on in the background. So yeah.